Hello, welcome to the video. Today we will be looking at the 192A problem from the codeforces website. So the question goes something like this. So you are given a square of positive area which is located on the coordinate plane. Its sides are parallel to the coordinate axis and you are given the coordinates of its corners. The order is random. Right? Your task is to find the area of the square. Right? So the input will be something like this. You are given an integer which tells us the number of test cases, and in each test case there will be 4 lines indicating the coordinate x and y coordinates of each corner of the square. Okay, so here this is the first these are the coordinates of the first square, and these are the coordinates of the second square, and these are the coordinates of the third square. So let us try to come up with a approach how to solve, how we will be solving this question, right? So in the first case, as mentioned in the question, for the first case, the first corner x coordinate is 1 and y coordinate is 2. Similarly, second corner x is 4 and y is 5, and then x is 1 and y is 5, and then x is 4 and y is 2. Right? So let us try to visualize this square on the coordinate plane. Right? This is apologies for the very bad drawing, but this here I have tried to represent the square which will be formed from this given coordinate x and y coordinates. Assume this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. This doesn't look like a square, but it is in actuality a square, right? So okay, so what will be the area of this square, right? Area of this square will be this side into this side, right? What is the length of this side? Length of this side, since as it is given in the question itself, the length of this side is parallel to y-axis. So the length of this side will be maximum value of this coordinate, maximum value of y coordinate at this point minus the y coordinate at this point, right? What is the y coordinate at this point? This is the maximum y coordinate that will be possible. Similarly, this is the minimum y coordinate that will be possible. Similarly, here we'll get the minimum x coordinate that is possible, and at these 2 points we'll get the maximum x coordinate that is possible, and the length of this line will be equal to x coordinate at this point minus x coordinate at this point, right? So because x coordinate at this point is the distance between the y-axis and this point, right? This, which is 1 unit, and x coordinate at this point, which is 4, is equal to the distance from the y-axis till here. So if you subtract this part from the entire length, then you will get the length of this side, right? So from this, our formula for finding the area of the square will become this side by into this side, which is y max minus y min, which will give us this side length, into x max minus x min, which will give us the length of this side, right? So that is how we have arrived at this formula. Okay, so out of these 4 coordinates, what is the maximum value that y takes? It is 5, right? Similarly, what is the minimum value that y takes? It is 2, right? Similarly, what is the maximum value x takes, and what is the minimum value x takes, which is 1, right? So area will become 5 minus 2 into 4 minus 1. Okay, 5 minus 2 is 3 into 4 minus 1 is 3, which will become 9, right? Similarly, in this case, out of this, maximum value y takes is 1, minimum value y takes is minus 1, max value x takes is 1, minimum value x takes is minus 1, right? So according to the formula, this will become 1 minus minus 1 times 1 minus 1, okay, which will become 2 times 2, because 1 minus 1 minus 1 will be 1 plus 1, right? So 2 times 2 will be 4, right? So area of the second case will be 4. Similarly here you can calculate the same way. So max of y is 39 and min of y is 11, max of x is 45, min of x is 17. So 39 minus 11 times 45 minus 17, okay, which is equal to 28 times 20. So if you have observed one more thing, it is given that the object will be a square, right? In a square both the sides will be equal, so we don't have to calculate both the max and minimums of both x and y coordinates, right? If you calculated one side, you can just square the length of one side, right? As you can see here, x max minus x min is 3 and y max minus y min is also 3. Similarly, y max minus y min is 2 and x max minus x min is also 2. Similarly here also y max minus y min is 28 and also x max minus x min is also 28. So even we don't have to calculate both maximums and minimums of both x and y. You can just calculate one and then just square that value, right? Okay. So let us go to the solution part. This is how I've done. So you don't actually have to calculate both these max values of x and y. You can just calculate max and min of y or max and min of x and then just square it. You don't have to do the multiplication part. I'm just doing it for the sake of it. Okay. So there might be one question here. This is just boilerplate. We're just taking the input values, and then for each test case we're initializing the coordinates, and then for each corner there will be 4 corners, right? For each corner we're getting the max and min values of x and y and updating accordingly. So how is that done? So from the current x and y we get from the input. We check if the current y is greater than the y max. If it is so, we'll update that. If we'll also check for minimum value. Similarly, we do the same for x coordinates as well. Here, if you see, I have initialized the x max and min values of both x and y with minus 10,000 and 10,000 correspondingly. So this is a important step. So why am I explicitly doing this with 10,000? Why don't I take just 0 or something like that? The reason behind this is, if you go back to the question, it is given that x and y will range between minus 1000 to 1000 only, right? So let us just say I initialize the minimum value with 0, right? Then what happens? We are checking for the current y min with the y min, right? So only if the current y is less than y min, we will be updating the y min value, otherwise we won't be. So you will not be, essentially you will not be, if you take this as 0, you will not be updating this value if all the corners of the square are in the first quadrant, right? Then current y will always be positive, which will always be greater than the y min, which is 0. Hence you will not be updating the y min at all, right? Similarly, the opposite goes with y max. If I take this as 0, if your coordinates are in the third quadrant or then y will always be negative. So you will never get a case where current y is greater than y max if you take y max as 0. So that is a very important thing to remember. I am taking 10,000 and minus 10,000 here just for the sake of it. You can take any large number which is larger than 1000 and minus 1000 in the for the max case, right? ठीक है. So I hope you get that logic. So I'm just running the code. So we got 9, 4 and 784 as the answers which we calculated here, and seems fair, right? Okay, so I'm going to submit this solution and see. Accepted. Cool. So yeah, I think we can just check the input cases. So that is the solution. So feel free to comment, like, share and subscribe. Uh, Also, please try to solve the question by yourself. And if you're really stuck at some place, then only come to the explanations. And if you're really stuck, then only go through the code. Otherwise, please, I'll really urge you to try the problems by yourself, because that is how we learn coding, right? Thank you.